Today I'm sharing a new version of one of my favorite 1-minute binary option trading strategy. All right, check out the 50 EMA retest strategy. I got a bunch of videos. Go check it out there. You can see where this stems from because I've had a lot of success with that. This setup can be used on weekends as well, all right, which we know that we are going to take advantage of the OTC trading market, not live markets. So we're going to show that on weekends, we're going to be making a profit here. OTC trading allows us to make profits even when regular markets are closed. This is improved and enhanced from an already simple strategy, which is super easy to follow and great for beginners, adding another confluence to the confirmed buy and sell signals that I'm going to show you for much better accuracy. This improved strategy previously resulted in a near winning perfect session. Okay, so this is going to give us some profits even on a Sunday afternoon. If you find this valuable, please like and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. Okay, so now let's go check out the charts. Let's get this session going. And I'm going to be using pocket options, which if you've already been subscribed and checking out my videos, I use pocket options basically exclusively. They have been around for a long time. Today we're going to focus on using this strategy with an OTC market because, like I said, it is Sunday afternoon. So we're going to go ahead and make some money with this strategy on the weekend. All right, here we are on pocket options, and let's go ahead and run through the setup here. So we have 3 moving averages and the stochastic oscillator that you can see right here. Let's set up our moving averages. So the first moving average is a period of 2 SMA. And we're going to use white with 2 pixels. Next is going to be the, again, another moving average, which is a 5 SMA, right? And we're going to set this color to teal, pixel size 2. And then we are going to use the 100 SMA, and we're going to make that styles pixel size 2, okay? And you can find those right here. So the moving averages, we're going to set up 3, and the stochastic oscillator, we're going to set up this one right down here. With the stochastic oscillator settings, we are set to 533 with an SMA, and we just leave it to the standard 80-20, all right? What is the goal of this? So we are going to be buying with the trend, okay? So this red line right here is the 100 MA, the 100 moving average. And then, like I said, we have the white and then the teal. So what are we going to do and how are we going to look for confirmations to get into this trades? Let's look at this chart here so I can show you what we're going to be looking for, and then we're going to get into the live footage so I can show you the live trading. But let's break this down right now before we get into that live trading. When we look at this chart right here, again, OTC pairs, all right, and we are set up with standard candles. These candles are 30-second each, so each candle is a 30-second candle. And then we are going to use a 1-minute expiry, all right? And we want to trade with 1% of our balance, so that's what we're going to do, all right? So right here, this is the 100 moving average, and basically we're going to use the 100 moving average as our trend line. Are we trending buy or are we trending sell? So are we moving up or are we moving down? And you can see right here that we are above the red and then we are below the red. So what we want to do is, especially for beginners, what you want to focus on is you want to focus trading with the trend. Some of you experienced traders, you'll be able to use those different market analysis, support, resistance, and whatnot to get you on the reverse. But for most of us, for most of you beginners, or to make this super simple, that we're going to trade with the down or we're going to trade with the up, all right? So what we are looking for right here is when we are under the red, okay, when we're under the red, we are in a downward momentum. We are not going to buy on green. If we're under the red, we're not buying green candles. We're only selling red candles, okay? Selling red candles under red, buying green candles over red, okay? So right here is where we would have got in for a buy. We would have got in for a 1-minute buy, and these are 30-second candles. So every 2 candles would be a win. We are going to, let's say we were buying right here on this red candle, all right? Why would we buy on this red candle? Well, the stochastic oscillator was over the 80, so we are oversold, which is a good confirmation, number 1. The blue line has split from the orange. That shows that it is on its way down. That's 2. Here we have the 2 SMA crossing over the 5 SMA, so white crossing over the green on its way down. That's perfect. We would have been in for 30 seconds here, 30 seconds here, would have been a winning trade. Right here, we are not buying this because we are oversold. Sorry, we are undersold, which means this is looking to be a reversal and an upward momentum. We are not going to be buying any of these. We're not going to buy these green candles, okay? Here would have been perfect opportunity where the white crossed over the blue, so that's the 2 crossed over the 5. We had a confirmation of the stochastic right here. You would have bought this one down. That would have been a big winning trade. Perfect. So that's real quick how you are going to sell this. Now let's go and look at what a buying would have been. So we could use this section right here. And here we have, so green candles. So we are over top of the red, which means we are on a upward momentum, right? Right here would have been a perfect opportunity to buy. The stochastic is nearly touching the 20, which means it is undersold. And then right here, we had the white cross over the blue, and then we had a large green candle. So that would have been perfect. That would have been a buy. 30-second, you would have had a win there. Red candles, we're not buying these ones because this is on a downward, all right? And then right here, we would have saw that the stochastic was below. Even right here, the stochastic was below, and that would have been on upward momentum. We had a split of the stochastics. We had the 2 cross over the 5, green candle, win-win, perfect. Another winning opportunity. We touched or got close to our 100. The stochastic was nearly touching the 20, and then we had the white line cross the blue, showing an upward trend. And then again, like I said, stochastic split right here. So again, another 1 minute trade would have been a winning trade. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to roll the footage, check out the live trade. The afternoon win rate, great little profitability for the day. Let's break down this so you can see why I went into these trades. So what you can see here is we have a huge downward momentum. All of the candles are underneath the 100 MA, which is underneath the red line. All right. You can see on this one, I made 6 trades in total, which all showed great confirmations, which in turn I jumped in. And so this is why we have these winning trades, right? So let's just move this forward a little bit here. So you can see, okay, so what are we looking at here? Well, we are under the 100, okay? The stochastic oscillator was oversold and it was started to split. And then we had the white line over top of coming down over top of the blue. So that showed me that these confirmations were looking good. So we went ahead and made that trade. And as you can see, we got all 6 of those paid out. Okay, let's go ahead and break down this other trade. So you can see that this was on an upward momentum. When you look to the left here, we were over top of the 100 moving average. And then we had a huge cross. That was a break of structure. So change in momentum. We went from an upward buying to now a selling. And then you can see that these candles right here show that these large wicks here show that while buyers are trying to pull it up, sellers were too powerful and pulled it back down. The stochastic oscillator was also way oversold and started to split, which then gave me the confirmation to go ahead and make this trade. So the white was just about to cross the blue. So let's just go ahead and get to the end and get to the finish of that one. So as you can see, this one playing out here, we are 5 seconds away now from this paying out. And so again, another good trade. Confirmations showed that this was going to be a good trade. Okay, let's break down this one here. You can see that we had a crossover a few candles earlier where we went from an upward momentum to a downward momentum. And then we had this big push up to touch the 100 moving average again. The stochastic oscillator was way oversold. This big push up of green candles we touched, and then we stalled out. So we had a few candles with a bunch of large wicks. So we started to stall out. So I went ahead and made 2 sells to bring this trade down, or to look at these confirmations that we were going to go ahead and bring this trade down. So let's just see what this does. Let's move this to the end of this trade. Okay, so we'll see this play out. We got the first trade win right there. And then the second one is going to come in. Again, like I said, may have gotten this a little bit too soon, so it was a little bit close, but either way, we were touching the 100. Look at those big wicks, and then we're go ahead and moving down. So I went ahead and entered another trade to see if this was going to continue, because again, the stochastic oscillator was pointing down, and this was going to maybe start making its way back down underneath the 100. All right, so let's just let this play out. Here we go, and there's another win. So we had the stochastic oscillator. That was our confirmation. We were touching our 100 MA. The 2 MA white line crossed over the teal, which gave confirmation. Go ahead and make that 1 minute buy. Okay, so real quick in closing, when you're looking at this chart, what you want to do is you want to use the 100 MA as your trend identifier. You want to make sure that if you are above the 100, you are in bullish momentum, and then you are buying, okay? And if you are below the 100, you are in a bearish momentum, and it's time for you to sell, okay? Beginners, stick to the trend, okay? Like I said, more experienced traders, you can look for those different counter trend opportunities. But for you beginners just starting out, look for following the trend only, okay? Take your time, be patient. This strategy has very simple rules. Use the moving average crossovers to buy and then sell, okay? It's simple, but it's super effective. and it's great and easy, like I said, for you beginners. Remember the rules. We want to use these combined strategies with indicators and a little bit of price action analysis so that we can win. What are you trading with? When are you trading? How are you reacting? What do the patterns look like? Okay. When you can start narrowing down these small rules, then you will have a way higher success rate in your trading. Come on down to the Telegram group, say hi, join in on the discussion, and we can go ahead and help you get to a more winning strategy, a more winning success than a losing. All right, thanks. We'll see you in the next one.